Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to just be taking some items out of my thrifting stash and just going to be doing the first thing that comes to my mind. So let's go ahead and get started on these projects. And I would like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. I thrifted these a long time ago. I think they might be old curtain rings, but I'm not positive. I just knew that I could do something with them. Now, I don't like the color. They're brown, but when you look up close, they're like gold and glittery, and we know how I feel about glitter. So I'm actually going to paint them with some milk paint. I'm going to be using the color Stockholm Green. It is so beautiful. I really wish Fusion would make this color in the all-in-one paint because I love it so much. So if you haven't used milk paint before, it comes in a powder form and you mix half the powder with half water. I don't want to spend too much time on these, so I'm just going to put one coat of milk paint on here. So I'm going to do the front, then I'm going to let it dry and turn it over and do the back. And if you're using milk paint, you're kind of going for that old distressed look. So if some of that brown comes through, it's no big deal, but I'm just doing one quick coat on here and leaving it like that. And I really love the texture that came out on here, even with one coat of paint. I did not heat gun it. It did crackle a little bit, but if I wanted it to really crackle and chip, then I would have applied heat to it. So even if your milk paint does not chip, you still get the most beautiful finish with this product. I love it. Now I want to have some fun. This is some of IOD's newest stamps. This is the Antiquities stamp, and this is La Campagne. And it actually has two sheets of stamps on this one, and they are just beautiful. They have this cute little sheep, and all these stamps that I have just been dying to try. So I figured let's do a project where I could just stamp a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be stamping on a flour sack tea towel that I ironed and just made it really smooth. That way all of the details of this stamp would really show. And I think that was the perfect fabric selection. I thought about doing drop cloth, but drop cloth is a lot rougher and it just doesn't stamp as well. And these stamps have so many details. I'm just picking out all the cute little stamps that I've just been wanting to play with. I'm putting them on my thin mount. I'm inking them up. I'm using black ink. I also think the China blue ink would have looked really pretty with the Stockholm green, but I just decided to stick with black. And I'm just having fun. Like I said, I just really been wanting to play with these stamps a little bit more. And I know what I'm doing is not anything like really new or inventive, but I was having a little bit of trouble getting motivated to do this video. So I just decided for the first project, I would just do something small, simple, and fun. Something that I want to do. So that is my advice. If you're in a rut and you're just not feeling very creative, just pick something out your stash that is going to be fun. And then that'll kind of, get you in the mood and get your creative juices flowing. So after I stamped and started putting stuff together, I realized I wanted to do sets of 2 to sell on the website. And I thought the little beehive would look great with the bee. So I went to take one bee out of the birds and bees stamp and I added that. Now to put the pieces together, this is what I did. I took my little wooden round thing that I painted with milk paint, and then I just went around it with a bead of hot glue, and then I put it on top of my tea towel. So I was able to center the image and get it exactly where I wanted. And we're just creating a cute little frame for the stamps. And then I'm going to take my fabric scissors and I'm just going to trim off all of the excess fabric. Now I gave these more of a year-round look, but they would also be so fun to create for the holidays, especially for Christmas. I mean, you could do Christmas ornaments. These that I made, like I said, I'm gonna have sets of 2 and I imagine them just on a decorative hook, maybe on a vase, just anywhere. I don't know if y'all remember, but I had made one very similar to this for Ren's laundry basket. Still love it, still use it. I will put a link to that video in the description if y'all want to check it out. So I absolutely loved this quick, simple project, but y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all know I like a good used and loved kitchen pan, and this is definitely one of them. I really like the shape of this one and the cute little handles on the side, but it is a little shiny metal for me, so I want to tone that down a little bit. I'm using my Fusion Mister and I'm just going to mist this pan, and then I'm going to take my Fusion paint. I'm using the color Chateau, and I'm just going to apply one light coat of paint. What I want to do is just kind of create a white wash on here. That way it just kind of tones down that bright shiny metal, but it doesn't cover all the character of this piece. So I'm just going to put one coat of paint on here, like I said, and then I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm not really going to wipe it off. I'm just going to dab it off. That way it just gives it a little bit of texture as well when I'm doing this, and it doesn't wipe all the paint off. I want to create a cute, unique kitchen sign. So I'm going to be using the IOD stamp. This is the retro stamp. And I'm just going to lay everything out. So I wanted to say eat, and then y'all know I love a wooden spoon. So why not throw one of those in here right under the letters? So like I said, I'm laying everything out exactly the way that I want. Then I'm going to take my thin mount and pick up the letters. I'm going to ink them up. I'm just using black ink here, and I'm just going to put them down. We're just kind of creating an outline at this time. And make sure you keep your letters on your thin mount because we're going to use them again. Now I'm going to be using Fusion's paint in the color Pine Blue. I just feel like in a kitchen, I really like accents of blue. I'm using this one of the Stallmaster artist brush. I love these. They are so smooth and they do edging really well. So I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to color in the letters that I just created. I've let my paint dry, and now I'm going to take that thin mount with the letters that I told y'all to keep on there because they are in the exact same spot. So I'm going to ink them up again, and I'm going to stamp my piece again, and this is just going to give me a nice clean outline. So this is just a really easy way to add some typography to your piece. I've done this before with wood and distressed it, and it gives it like a really old signage look. I'm gonna have to do that again because it came out really good. So once my eat word is done, I'm gonna take my wooden spoon and I'm gonna take some Gorilla Glue and I'm just gonna glue it to the metal pan. I really like the way that this came out. I just love rescuing these old kitchen items and just turning them into very unique pieces of home decor. It's one of my favorite things to do. So never pass up the kitchen section at the thrift store. Whether you are just getting started or you're already an established brand, Squarespace has everything you need to power your e-commerce website and grow your business. They make it very easy to design your website with these ready-to-use templates, and you can even narrow down your search results by clicking exactly what you need. So if you're an online store and you're a local business, it'll give you these options to work perfectly for your business. You can also preview how that design would look on a computer, a tablet, and a mobile device. So if you have been nervous about starting a website because you don't know how to design one, don't worry guys, Squarespace has got you covered. So if you're ready to try Squarespace, go to squarespace.com/Julie's Designs and Signs, and they are giving my viewers 10% off when you use code Julie's Designs and Signs. I purchased this piece for $5 at the thrift store. I just love the look of the metal and the wooden handles on here, but I do not love what's going on in the background. It's just a little bit too much for me, a little too bright. So we're going to tone it down, and I kind of want the background to match the color of the metal. So I'm going to start off by painting it gray. I'm going to be using Fusion's paint in the color Little Lamb. I'm using one of the pointed sash paint brushes. Y'all know it is my favorite. It's just perfect for all these little projects that I do. So I'm going to add 2 coats of paint on here just to get full coverage. And then this little chicken or rooster or whatever it is from La Campagne is the perfect size to put on here, and I feel like this basket will look really cute with some eggs in it. So I feel like the chicken is perfect. So I'm just using my black ink and I'm going to apply the stamp to the bottom of the basket. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at this. I just love the look of these new stamps. They have such a vintage look. Now, I did let my ink dry, which if you use IOD ink, it does not take long to dry. But now I want to white wax it. I wanted to stamp it before I added all of my waxes because I want to kind of antique and age the stamp as well. I just wanted to have that old age look, just like the metal on this basket. So I just applied some white wax to it, and now I'm just going to dab it off with my paper towel, and then I'm going to take some antiquing wax and I'm just going to apply it to the edges of this piece and also just kind of dab it and wipe it as well until I get the exact look that I want. So if you see something at the thrift store and you love parts of it but not all of it, go ahead and pick it up. You could absolutely transform it with the craft supplies that you have and make it more your style. Y'all, I don't even know how long this beautiful bread box has been in my stash, but it is absolutely the biggest piece that I have. So I'm like, today is the day this is getting done. And I have been dying to try out this milk paint in the color Quaker. It looks so beautiful in the picture, so I just have to try it and see what it looks like in person. So I mix half water with half of the colored powder. This is a bigger piece, so I make sure I mix a lot, enough to cover this entire bread box. And I'm just going to go through and just get the first coat of paint on there and let it dry. And then I applied a second coat of paint, and then once that was dry, I applied a third coat of paint. I really wanted full coverage on this piece. Now, after I applied the third coat of paint, while it was still wet, I hit it with the heat gun. I almost always use my heat gun when I'm working with milk paint because when you apply heat, it causes it to crackle and chip, and that's what I love about it. However, it is also unpredictable, and that did not happen on this piece, probably because the wood was so dry and just really soaked up the paint. When you have a more glossy surface, that's when it tends to crackle and chip more. But what I did do to create more texture and more color variation is I dabbed some extra paint in a few spots and then hit it with the heat gun, and that way it dried in place and it created some beautiful texture. So even if it doesn't chip, you can still, there's still different techniques to get that beautiful aged texture that you are looking for, and that, I mean, that's why I personally use milk paint and just love it. There's just no other products that I have tried that gives you that aged look like milk paint does. So if you have not tried it, I highly recommend just giving it a shot. Now I could leave this piece as is, but I decided to go ahead and distress it. So I just have some 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just gonna lightly distress all the edges and bring back a little bit of the wood through. The milk paint distresses very easily, just like chalk paint, and you could also wet distress it. And then to seal this piece, I just took it outside and sprayed a little spray sealer on it. All right, guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all are inspired. Please leave a comment below and let me know what was your favorite project that I created today. And if you're interested in any of the products or the projects used in today's video, it will be available on my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com. And if you are interested in starting your own website, y'all definitely go check out squarespace.com/juliesdesignsandsigns, and they are giving my viewers 10% off. And I will have a link to everything in the description below. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all in the next video.